What is up, y'all? And welcome back to Dad Needs to Talk. I am your host, Robert, and today we are talking about the amazing start for winter 2022 anime. So let's get to it. Alright, y'all. So we're gonna kind of jump into things. Man, it is. It feels like it's been a while, though it really hasn't, because I've still been putting out stuff every week. But my last couple episodes have been, or like the main podcast episodes have been with some guests. Shout out to Dark Sage for the end of 2021 kind of look back episode, and then shout out to Anime Gencho for the 2022 preview episode. But yeah, it's been a while since I've done like a full on normal solo episode. Of course, I did my farewell 2021 episode a couple weeks back. And I appreciate y'all that watched it, listened to it, whatever the case is, and show some love. Greatly appreciated. But yeah. So, since it has been a while, as always, if this is your first time here, then welcome. But if you're a returning listener or watcher, then welcome back. We are here to kick off a exciting new year. I have a lot of anime to talk about today because I watched a few new shows for the winter season, but I also watched a bunch of stuff over the holiday break as well that I haven't had a chance to really talk about some of this stuff. So yeah, so we'll kind of just dive right in. As always, if you're not already, make sure you are subscribed to both the YouTube channel if you want video, or to whatever podcast streaming service of your choice: Spotify, Google, Apple, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Pandora. Wherever you can get podcasts, you should be able to find me. And if you can't find me, let me know so I can get on there. but uh, but yeah, y'all, it is. I'm not gonna go too much into it again because a lot of stuff that happened over the last few weeks, whatever I talked about in that farewell episode. But just to say, it's been crazy few weeks, whatever. But things are kind of settling back in normally, and yeah. So trying to think where to start. I guess just first of all, I guess this kind of falls underneath like housekeeping and stuff. So you know, I want to continue to learn and grow and experiment and try new stuff, with the podcast, with the YouTube channel, all that stuff. And so, you know, some of y'all may have noticed, like, I've been kind of doing different stuff where, there's some content I upload both to YouTube and the podcast stream, and then there's some stuff that is only YouTube or whatever. So I'm kind of, like I said, just kind of figuring out engaging what is what, because, like, example, I'm going to be talking about a new anime called My Dress Up Darling. I already did a kind of like an episode one first impressions thing on YouTube a few days ago, whatever. Like I said, I like just kind of going with my gut on stuff, just because of the fact that, like, the reason why I kind of do stuff the way I do is that I am trying to capture as many people as possible and give people as many options as possible to, you know, hear me, watch me, whatever the case may be. And speaking of which, real quick, because I don't know if I ever mentioned this or I might have briefly mentioned this in passing, or whatever, but if you listen to me on Spotify or whatever, I also got access to do video on Spotify. So, you know, check it out. Let me know what you think. But yeah, but so it's a thing to where it's like, there's some people that I know that kind of is whatever or on both, but then there's some people that are YouTube only. There's some people that are podcast only, and so I kind of try to pick and gauge, to where like some stuff, like I said, like the My Dress Up Darling thing was like, okay, I know for sure I'm gonna talk about it on the podcast in a couple of days, but I also kind of wanted to get like some initial thoughts out, like fresh off my mind from the episode. So that's why I was like, okay, this would just be video only. So, but anywho, my point, in saying that is just, I hope y'all like, enjoy, or maybe give me some feedback if you enjoy what I do and how I do it, or you have any suggestions, whatever the case may be. I am open to all of that. Cause like I said, I'm just, like I said, just kind of experimenting, trying out different stuff. Like I said, definitely kind of trying to make sure I'm going with my gut and my instinct on something, because honestly, I had like got excited after I watched that episode. I like even made a thumbnail and everything before I even recorded, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna be doing a podcast in like a day or two. It can wait. So I sat on it for like hours or whatever, and then I was like, you know what, Robert? No, your heart wants to do this, so just do it. And I did, and I'm glad I did, because I had people comment on the video or reach out to me and be like, yo, had no clue about the show or whatever. Thanks for bringing it to my attention. Cool. Now I got somebody else put onto the show. So yeah, so like I've said before in the podcast, I kind of aim to bring more stuff to people's attention that might not get attention like a lot of the bigger shows or in manga, anime, whatever, games too. Uh, and so that's why I kind of do a mixture and variety as far as like releasing stuff at various points in times, various days and stuff. So yeah, so like I said, just kind of always be on the lookout. I'll be, like I said, if you see like sporadic uploading of stuff, whatever, just know, oh, okay, Robert must be experimenting or testing out something. So, but yeah, but like I said, just I really appreciate everybody that has reached out to me about different stuff. People that's constantly interacting with me on different threads, on all the different platforms and stuff. Speaking of platforms, I've even started using TikTok a little bit. Same, if you want to follow me on there. Same thing as Dad Needs to Talk podcast. Or it might just be Dad Needs to Talk. I can't remember. But either way, you'll be able to find me. Yeah, Dad needs to Talk podcast on TikTok. Like I said, just experimenting. Like I said, it just kind of had like an idea, and I was like, you know what, I want to try this. And hey, there we go. But anyway, so um, so yeah, so just kind of like I said, that's kind of like general housekeeping. Like I said, just kind of be on the lookout for my for my various uploads on different stuff. Like I said, I'm just trying to find a good rhythm with stuff. Speaking of which, like I said, since I've done like the last regular episode, I've done a review for Blue Period season 1. I did a first impressions for Saturn Apartments manga volumes 1 and 2, and I feel like there might have been something else. I for sure have a bunch of stuff coming up. Cause I have enough like first volume or two of a lot of series that I kind of want to make that like a more kind of like current ongoing thing, to where it's like because it's also been a lot of stuff that I've read and just haven't really talked about or recorded about or whatever. So be on the lookout. Like I said, I might try to do some type of maybe like first impression Fridays, or who knows, how that stuff might kind of go. uh Speaking of Fridays, also, be on the lookout. Hopefully soon, in the coming days, I'm going to be doing kind of like a mini episode, just kind of just me rambling in a good way about the Fire Force manga. Because I guess that's a kind of, well, I'll save that for a moment. But basically, uh, the Fire Force manga is about to end in a matter of chapters. So maybe five, maybe like a little over 5 chapters left or so of Fire Force manga. And so I was originally planning to do something for New Year's um, I've had like a little tradition for like maybe like 5 years or so at this point, 4 or 5 years, to where every year, every New Year's, or in the lead up to New Year's every year, I've picked a manga series that either I've been interested in or I've, never read, whatever the case is, whatever, and I binge read it, you know. And so that all started with Kingdom years ago in the lead up to Kingdom chapter 500. And so I did that. Like I said, I just did Fire Force as we're approaching chapter 300 soon. And I feel like My Hero might have been part of one of those binge reads, and maybe even Jujutsu Kaisen. And I feel like it was something else. I can't 100% remember, but yeah. So it's something like I said, just like a little personal tradition I've done, and I'm like, well, now that I got this podcast, I can kind of bring that to y'all. But I didn't do it yet because for one, I was kind of still sick at that point, and two, I was like, well, chapter 300 is coming up. Maybe I'll just wait for that. And then I heard, oh, the manga's ending. Maybe I'll just wait for that. And so as I was kind of getting some stuff together or whatever, because I'm thinking about whenever I do, so whenever the series ends, there's going to be a dedicated episode to just Fire Force series discussion whenever that happens in the coming months. But um, but as I was kind of like doing some notes and prepping for that or whatever, I have a text document that I was like keeping notes of all the crazy stuff that was happening over my 130 plus chapter binge read of that week or whatever when I read all that stuff. And just some of the stuff I was looking at again, I was like, oh yeah, that dope moment. And I was like, I don't think I can wait another like month or so. So I gotta talk about this sometime soon. So, but anyway, so be on the lookout for that. Um, and yeah, so I think that's it for housekeeping. As far as like just like life in general, like I said, things are going pretty good. Had a quiet day at work today because most everybody else was out, whether they were sick or had personal stuff, whatever going on. I'm cool with it. Hey, a majority quiet day. I would take it. Just kind of just me more or less solo on site today. So, and then had a pretty chill evening when I got home. It's like, I don't know. It might hit me at some point while I'm recording this because apparently I am extremely tired. My wife says she sees it in my eyes when she like took my glasses off. She said she could see like around my eyes or whatever. But uh, when I came home, I was doing my little Rayman Legends challenge run thing with Vash because Vash has now gotten to the point to where if he sees me playing Rayman on my PS5, he'll boot it up on my wife's Xbox Series X or Series S. And, in Rayman, they have like the daily challenges that rotate every day. It's 4 of them. Well, it's 2 daily, 2 weekly challenges. And so he sees me booting. He's like, hold on, Dad, hold on. And he'll grab his controller, boot it up, and then they'll do the countdown, and then we both go through the level and do our thing. But my first sign that I was more exhausted than what I realized was during the challenge. I'm playing. I'm just having a good old time. And then next thing I know, I'm being awoken by the fail sound. And I'm like, wait, did I fall asleep? I'm like, okay, that was weird. Finished the level, went on to the next one. Do 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 do. Fail sound. I'm like, again? So, yeah. Apparently, more tired, more exhausted than I thought. And, but I soldiered on because then, something I've been wanting to do, whatever, is like getting more one-on-one time with my kids and their sports stuff. Because, yes, y'all know my kids do a lot of sports, especially my oldest son. He's on freaking 2 plus teams. He's on 2 teams for sure. But then there's other teams that be like, hey, can we borrow him for a tournament or whatever? So he's technically on like 3 or so different basketball teams. But as far as like getting like more one-on-one workouts and stuff, whatever, I'm like, okay, I want to do that with him and with my other kids and stuff too. So I was like, okay, we'll go to the rec center, do some stuff, whatever. And so while I was tired, did my dad duty, soldiered on. We went to the rec center for like a shoot. What was it? At least 2 hours. Me, my oldest son, and Vash. And Vash was cool. He, helping us do some little drills and stuff, and doing his own thing. But yeah, it was just kind of like just kind of nice, just like me and my oldest boy, just kind of just doing some different basketball drills and stuff. I'm just kind of just talking to him about like, hey, improving this, doing that, and stuff like that. And then of course, feels like no matter where we go, no matter if we're at the park practicing stuff or we at the gym or whatever, a random kid comes up to him and he's like, hey, can I play you one on one? And so he was all right. He's like, well, I have to finish some drills. So we finished some more drills, and then for like another 30, for like that final like 30 minutes to plus, he just was playing, running drills and stuff with or just playing one on one with the other kid or whatever. So which is always just fun. Like I said, just kind of seeing him just kind of you know do his thing. With just somebody just more or less off the street. Just somebody just, hey, pickup game basically. So yeah, but yeah, otherwise, that's going on. I hope you guys and gals and mothers, fathers, children, whoever all is listening or watching this episode, I hope y'all are, like I said, subscribed and stay tuned in to your boy this year, because I have some pretty dope stuff coming, some of which with some very dope people that that I have reached out to, and a lot of them, of course, like I say, just like, hey, shoot your shot or whatever. And some of the people I'm like, oh, cool, you're down to do this. And so I have a ever growing list, and I've talked about this list before, but it continues to grow. And some people I just want to just have on just to just kind of just discuss and talk about like what they do and stuff, whatever. Some people I'm gonna have on for themed episodes, or to kind of focus on certain topics, or like I said, or themes or whatever. Um, so I'm kind of like just like been like reaching out to people and getting a confirmed like yes at some point, sure, that's enough for me. So it kind of gives me ideas as far as like, okay, this is if I have an idea for a certain show, topic, manga, anime, game, whatever I want to talk about, I'm like, oh, that person really enjoyed that series, that game, show, whatever. Let me hit them up like, hey, sub, can you come in and help? So yeah, so be on the lookout for that. Like I said, very very exciting news, or very exciting content and stuff coming up. And yeah, I have something else I'm gonna show off a little bit later, but this past week or last week now at this point was my birthday. My birthday was on January 6th, so your boy has survived another year. Made it to see 32, which is wild. But also kind of like me being 32, just kind of like side tension real quick before we dive into everything, whatever. A lot of times it like puts it's like wild to think about like in context of my job, because I'm one of the youngest people, at least that like works in office, whatever, on my team or whatever. And because there's a lot of people that's been there for 10 plus years. And so like some of like there's like some older people that are like getting ready to retire. And it kind of like every time we're talking and somebody mentions them retiring or whatever, it just like makes me think of like, man, like, will I be here long enough to retire? Because like I said, even though some of those people have been there for 10, maybe 15 years, if they're about to retire, they're in their early 60s. So, that means that they've only been there since they maybe was like 50 something, you know, or maybe, late 40s, early 50s. Um, and so me being 32, I'm like, these people that are about to retire are pretty much twice my age. And so it's pretty much like, do I want to be at this same job for pretty much what I would literally classify as another lifetime? Because, like I said, I'm 32. The retirement age is what, 64, somewhere in there. So it's like, do I want to do another life of Robert in this same place or whatever? So, but of course, hey, I'm gonna go with the flow, see where it goes. But, you know, we'll see. But like I said, it just sometimes it's kind of like daunting in a way when I like really look at that big picture, as far as like, man, these people that are literally twice my age are getting ready to retire, and I'm kind of just getting started here, and it's like, man, do I foresee another 32 years ahead of me, but still being, at that place? So I don't know. Like I said, just like I said, just something, just giving y'all a little peek inside of how my brain works and stuff. But yeah. So anywho, enough me jibber jabbering and stuff. But the reason why I brought up the birthday thing, or whatever, is because when I get to the manga section, I'm gonna show off at least like a little preview. This stuff I'll for sure show at the end of the month when I do my manga haul. Which, speaking of which, make sure y'all go to my YouTube channel and check out my manga hauls, because obviously those are visual. I want to show off the volume, so that's definitely something that is video only on YouTube. Though now I'm thinking out loud, I'm like, Spotify has video. Hmm. Don't know. Hey, Manga Hall on Spotify? Maybe. But anywho, so yeah, so when I get to the manga section a little bit later in the show, we'll talk about that stuff. So let's go ahead and dive right in with a little bit of news before we get to the shows. First off, I want to shout this out, and of course, this is not a paid promotion or nothing like that. I pay for this with my own coins out my wallet, but wanted to both give my wife an awesome treat, but also support an amazing person within the community. And the person I'm talking about is the creator and founder of Adorned by Chi, Jackie. And so Jackie just released this book called The Magical Girl's Guide to Life. And it says, find your inner power, fight every day, fight everyday evil, and save the day with self-care. And so those of y'all see the video, look at this beautiful cover. And just reading a little bit of synopsis of of what this book is about. Embrace your magic. When you live a life without magic, it's impossible to be the best version of yourself. This manga-inspired self-care guide taps into your inner power and uncovers the magical girl within. Author and fellow magical girl Jackie A serves as your stand-in familiar to help you learn more about yourself, your monsters, and how to defeat them with your inner power, intelligence, and strength through fun exercises, journal prompts, and personality tests. You have what it takes to become a weapon wielding, cute costume wearing, crime fighting cutie. So get ready to reframe the way you approach challenges in your life and embark on your self care journey anime style. So, yeah, like I said, Magical Girl's Guide to Life. Check it out. Like I said, um, I scooped this up for my wife, but I might even take a peek myself. But yeah, so like I said, just a shout out to Jackie. Might not even know who I am, but like I said, we've chatted a little bit in passing on the interwebs and stuff. So just like I said, wanted to get this to uh, give my wife a nice little treat, but also like I said to support you in all the awesome work that you do. So love you, keep being awesome, keep doing what you do. The community needs you. So let's dive in. So the only kind of like really main news thing I want to talk about is we got some in-depth details about the PlayStation VR 2. All right, so like I said, we kind of but I guess this was part of the CES, the Consumer Electronics Show that was happening um last week or so. Um, and so they dropped like a boatload of like in-depth details about the PlayStation VR 2. And I'm reading directly from the PlayStation blog itself. But like so I'm not gonna go over like every single thing, but just like some of like the key things. So like for like visual fidelity, this thing is gonna be pushing 4K. The PlayStation VR 2 headset will be pushing 4K HDR with 110-degree field of view, as well as have a OLED display with frame rates of 90 to 120 hertz. So yeah, it is going to have inside out tracking. So the PSVR 2 tracks you and your controller through integrated cameras embedded in your headset. So that means there's no need for a external camera like with the PlayStation, the first PSVR, as well as like a lot of other VR headsets. Uh, Eye tracking technology, and yeah. So a lot of those specs alone, just like I said, like with the eye tracking, with the inside out tracking, with the 4K OLED displays and stuff, I already know this thing is gonna be mega expensive, but I'd rather it be a premium product to where I know, okay, if I get this is gonna be kind of like a long term gaming investment that you know uh will last me for a while and will be some quality stuff. So excited for that. Like I said, we still don't have like a date or price and stuff, whatever. But we did get the announcement of at least one game. So the Guerrilla Studio, which is the team that does the Horizon games and the Killzone series, they will be doing a Horizon specific game for PSVR 2 called Horizon Call of the Mountain. So yeah, I am very excited for that. I love the Horizon series. I am very excited for Horizon Forbidden West coming at the end of February. And so yeah, so like I said, just like I said, just wanted to mention that, put it on y'all radar for anybody that might be listening, that might be you know into VR and stuff, whatever. Just maybe put that on your radar for like, okay, if you maybe might be thinking about investing in one within the next year or so, that might be a potential option for you. So yeah, trying to think, did I have any other? I don't think I really had too much other news to talk about. Let me see. Um, yeah, the only other really things were like I said, um, Fire Force manga is going to be ending soon, and that's pretty much it. There is some Kaiju number 8 news, but I'll say that for when I talk about the latest chapter a little bit later in the episode. But yeah, so I think we can go ahead and dive into talking about some anime. Now, debating whether to start with the new stuff or the stuff I watched over Christmas break. Uh, let me get the old stuff out the way first. Uh, whoops, definitely don't want that on there. Okay, so let me take a quick look at this. Okay, so these are gonna be kind of rapid fire, some of these older ones, but like I said, it's because some of these I definitely want to make sure y'all put on y'all radar, because some of these a lot of people slept on last year, myself included. But first off is an anime called Link Click. It is a Chinese anime, and so the synopsis for this is: in a corner of a bustling city, there is a small shop called Time Photo Studio, operating as usual. Although the entrance looks abandoned, it's actually run by two men with special abilities. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the names. Well, I'll try Shang Zhaoji and Lu Wang. In order to fulfill customers' requests, they work together and use their abilities to enter photos. However, things don't go as planned. So yeah, so this one, I guess this one will be classified as, I don't know, kind of like, I don't know if psychological thriller is the right term to use for this. I'm trying to see if they drama, mystery, supernatural, thriller. So yeah, definitely all those kind of fits. But yeah, but basically, yeah, these two characters are just like taking on various cases where they are jumping into photos, and so basically, when they enter the photos, they go to wherever that is, no matter how long ago it was. It could be a photo taken, yesterday, or it could be a photo from 10 years ago. They go back into that moment to help whoever requested or whatever do something, make amends for something, find something, whatever. So but it was very awesome, super good. Um, Definitely, there's definitely going to be a season 2 this year. They already announced it. But it is 11 episodes, and I watched it on Funimation. So definitely, definitely check it out. Like I said, it was real good, and I just don't want to spoil anything for y'all. Cause like I said, going in knowing as little as possible. Yeah. So Link Click, definitely put that on y'all's radars. So let's see. So next up, let's do the case study of Vanitas. So this is one I think I had started watching part of an episode months and months and months ago, like probably like not long after it first started airing, just because I was hearing really good stuff, whatever. I was even hearing really good stuff about the English dub, and so I was like, you know what? During the time when I was home, sick, couldn't do nothing else, whatever, I was like, let's dive in or whatever. And shout out, and first of all, I want to say for a Link Click, shout out to, man, lots of people shout out for that one. So shout out to Mike Check Waifu Podcast, Blandame Podcast, and I also believe, and I think that they all got it recommended from Sundari. So shout out to all of y'all who put this on my radar. And yeah, and speaking of people putting stuff on your radar, shout out to, oh Lord, I can't remember which host it was, but I'll just say shout out to Otaku's Delight podcast as a whole, because I'm trying to remember, was it JT, or I can't remember which of the hosts over there, but one of them, she like super loved this show, and so every time I was listening to their podcast or whatever, or every so often they would talk about it or whatever, and so I finally gave it a shot. Another really good anime. So this one, so Case Study of Vanitas, it's 19th century Paris, and young vampire Noe hunts for the Book of Vanitas. Attacked by a vampire driven insane, a human intercedes, rescues Noe, and heals the sick creature. Commanding the book and calling himself Vanitas, this doctor tempts Noe with a mad crusade to cure the entire vampire race. Allying with one who wields arcane power so easily may be dangerous, but does he have a choice? So, yeah, so this was another. Oops, sorry, y'all. I'm just bumping stuff. This was another quick 12 episode anime. Season 2 is actually going to be starting within the next couple of weeks, I believe, on January 17th. So season 2 is coming in hot and quick. But yeah, it was 12 episodes for season 1. Like I said, I had watched it dub. Super awesome job on that. Shout out to Zeno Robinson for being the voice of Vanitas um, in the English dub. And so yeah, but yeah, like I said, for this one, I really just liked the look of it. Man, that is it the closing theme or the opening theme? I think it's the closing theme. That joint has some soul in it. I need to look up like who sings that because man, that was a really good ending song. But yeah, it is visually pleasing to the eye. Like I said, I just really love the 19th century Paris look and aesthetic, and even them having some little bit of French dialect and stuff, whatever, with how they speak. But yeah, like I said, it is just like it is a really solid show. It has a lot of really good kind of like mystery and stuff, and because there's a lot of stuff going on with yeah, drama, fantasy, mystery, supernatural. So it definitely has like a lot of stuff going on with these characters and stuff that makes you kind of go like, what is going on? Who are these characters? I definitely want to learn more. And so yeah, so like I said, definitely put that one on y'all's radar to check out. Let's see. Next up, let's do Super Crooks. So Super Crooks is on Netflix. Oh, and I forgot to mention Case Study of Vanitas. I had watched it on Funimation, but I think it's also going to. I think it also got put on Crunchyroll as well because over the last week, with the winter season starting, Crunchyroll and Funimation did a lot of merge or swapping with shows. Because like I'm gonna talk about Ranking of Kings in a bit, but that was originally only on Funimation, but now it's also on Crunchyroll. So they're kind of starting to blend their catalogs together a little bit more. But yeah, but so Super Crooks is on Netflix. So synopsis for this one is one last heist. That's all they say, right? Just one more, just one final score, and everyone can retire and take up fishing. Thing is, the jails are filled with supervillains who thought the same thing and got busted. But the heat's in a jam. He's run up in the kind of he's run up the kind of gambling debt that if he can't pay it back in cash, will be paid back in blood, and yada yada yada. Basically, it is a show focused on villains in a society where where a lot of civilians and stuff have powers and stuff. This was also another kind of quick 13 episode anime, both in sub and dub. I watched it dub. Was solid. Was a fun ride. Like I said, like nothing super crazy or whatever, but it was still just kind of fun getting to watch a show from the villain's perspective and just seeing like how every time they, a lot of times they thought that they might have gotten away with something, and then a hero would pop in out of nowhere. Um, and also, kind of even touching on a little bit of like, like dirty heroes and stuff that's kind of like doing shady stuff, under the table stuff, whatever. So, but yeah, Super Crooks, like I said, another fun show to put on y'all's radar. Like I said, on Netflix, 13 episodes. So, let's see. What are the older ones? Oh man, so this next one. Hold on. Let me So this next one. If you are not of age, if you're not 18 or older, or at least mature, I watched the super short but also super good Golden Boy. Now, those of you who know. But Golden Boy is a series I think this came out, at least like the version I watched. I think this came out like in freaking '95 or something. I'm trying to make sure ain't nothing crazy going to show. But yeah, so this is classified as a um, comedy ecchi. It definitely fits that bill. Uh, but basically, so synopsis for this is the MC Kentaro Oe doesn't look like it, but he is a genius who completed all his university courses and then quit before graduating. I believe he was going to be a lawyer. He becomes a wandering student going from place to place on his bicycle, seeking to learn what he can about life, the world, and women. He is willing and able to do any job he has to prove himself. His travels take him to a variety of locations and a variety of women, each who learns to love the hardworking guy, but not before he can run off. So, like I said, Golden Boy, it is, if you are open to a little bit of like raunchiness, and stuff, because, kind of like in the same vein as like, like something like Prison School and stuff like that. Watch it. It's fun. Like I said, it's only 6 episodes, but if watch it. Like I said, if you are of age, of course, hey, if my kids are watching this, do not look this up. If I hear Golden Boy in your room, it's gonna be your butt. uh, but yeah, anybody else, yeah, check it out. Like I said, if you just want just like a quick, fun, funny ride, and watch the dub, watch the dub. This is like one of those shows to where it's like the dub. They gave no cares back then, and they were saying some wild stuff. Which makes sense because in the anime they're showing some wild stuff. But yeah, Golden Boy, you got me through the because I finished watching this like late night Friday night or whatever. I was in here while I'm recording, watching on my screen over here, and I was just rolling, laughing. But like I said, it was just a fun, good time. So, but yeah, Golden Boy. And last old thing I had checked out was, let me see, it was the Kuroko basketball. Whoops, where is it at? Do 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 do. Uh, Kuroko. Oh, yeah, sorry, y'all. All right, it don't matter. I can't find the freaking thumbnail for the movie. But anyways, Kuroko's basketball. You know it, you love it, you hate it, whatever. I love Kuroko's basketball. Though I hadn't watched it since it originally finished airing, which, man, that last season, that was what, almost like 10 years ago or so. Um, but as I and it's crazy that I'm just now watching this movie because I remember years back, when the movie came out, hearing about it or whatever, but I just never paid it any attention or whatever. So, um, I was going back through and I was listening to some older episodes of the Blandame podcast while they've been on hiatus, and got to some episodes where they was talking about the Kuroko movie, and I was like, oh yeah, I was like, man, I loved Kuroko, back in the day, but it's just been so long since I've watched it, and so it was just one of those things where I was like, you know what, I'll make some time for this because it was like an hour and a half. But yeah, but basically, for those who don't know, or I guess I'll just speak in general just in case, hey, if anybody's watching this or listening to this that has no clue what Kuroko's basketball is. So it is a sports anime based on the sport of basketball. And so Kuroko's basketball follows, or I guess it's centered around the main character named Kuroko, watching the video, the one with the light blue hair, as he encounters the red-haired one called Kagami, Taiga Kagami. Well, in middle school, Kuroko was the sixth man on the best team and the best middle school team in the country. And so these the five main players aside from Kuroko, they were known as the Generation of Miracles, and that is still one of the coldest names I've ever heard in anime, manga, whatever. Having a squad so cold that they call you the Generation of Miracles, and so yeah, so and so basically, like I said, like they dominated middle school, whatever. But when they went to high school, all of the team members all dispersed and went to different schools, and so the series just follows Kuroko and Taiga as they meet, and they have to play against each of the Generation of Miracles and stuff. Well, this movie has all of them playing together on one team to go against a U.S. team, because basically a U.S. team came over to Japan to do like an exhibition match or whatever, and then they destroyed the other players that they had picked for the Japan team or whatever, and they was talking so much trash, like really bad, to the Japan team, to the point to where one of the coaches made a challenge, and he's like, all right, give us, what was it, like a week or a month? I think it might have been a month, I think. Anywho, basically give us some time, we'll come with a team and show y'all what's what. And that's when he called everybody up and was like, hey, I know y'all haven't played together since middle school, but we need y'all. And so everybody comes together. And man, this movie was so freaking awesome. If you love the Kuroko's Basketball series and you have not seen the movie, let me help you correct that mistake. Because, man, this movie was freaking amazing. Just like, actually seeing the Generation of Miracles get uh, be given a run for their money, and stuff. But like watching them work as a tandem and just like seeing the insanity that they were pulling off, it was like, yes, this is why I love this show in the first place. And so this just kind of just sparked and reignited my love for that series as I was watching. But yes, go watch Kuroko's Basketball, the movie, and or the series as a whole. If you've never seen the series, and honestly, if you've never watched any sports anime, brief recommendation: watch Kuroko's Basketball. Even though it has like a little bit more, um, craziness, with like how absurd some of the stuff they be doing, but it's still cool and I like it. But yeah, give that a try. I'll also toss in, give Haikyuu a try. That's volleyball anime. Um, and a rare one that I for sure have never talked about on this podcast, because why would it have ever came up? But one I'll toss some love to, whatever. There's a sumo wrestling anime called Hinamaru Sumo. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but I really enjoyed it. Has like a little warm spot in my heart. But yeah, check those out if you're looking for some sports anime or want to dip your toe into some sports anime. So now, enough looking back. Now let's look forward to the new stuff. So, oh boy, where to start? Where to start? Where to start? Uh, I'm gonna start with this, and this is honestly more so to kind of get it out the way, because I'm probably not gonna be talking about this every week, because those of you that have been following my podcast for a while, um, or even have maybe looked down my podcast feed, know that I am a manga reader. So I have already finished. I've already read the Attack on Titan manga. That was like one of like my earliest podcast episodes or mini episodes, whatever I did almost a year ago when I started, was drop an episode talking about that. But don't worry, no manga spoilers. Y'all know how I do. I keep that stuff sectioned off. But with that being said, I'm not gonna talk too much. I don't think, unless I just like want to give something like a lot of compliments or whatever. But just here to really say, Attack on Titan is back. Me and my wife. watched it as we do, as is our tradition since we first got together. Attack on Titan is one of those series that, I was already watching when I met her. And I don't know if she had ever watched it before we got together or not, but I'm trying to remember. Hold on. Okay, yeah, I just had a fact check, but yeah, so yeah, cause I just checked with her. She said that she had watched a little bit, like randomly, like over time, whatever. She maybe it's like an episode or two in passing, but she never just sat down and watched it from start to finish until we got together. So yeah, so every Sunday we watch it, um, and just have a good time. And I just want to say the new opening. If I wasn't afraid of having to deal with the copyright stuff, whatever, I would play that ish now. Cause man, I loved it. I know some people are like, oh, don't really like the heavy metal. Da, da. I felt like, man, it is playing in my mind right now. Just me thinking about it. It, I feel like it is perfect for. I feel like this is the such a great fitting opening song to send for, and I'll say, hey, regardless of how people might feel about how the manga ends or when the anime ends or whatever, how y'all might feel about the ending and or about the series as a whole. But one thing you cannot deny is the crazy impact that Attack on Titan has had on the community since it launched almost a decade ago, which is wild to think about. But yeah, Attack on Titan started in the anime started in 2013 or so, which is weird because I was 23 at the time and I'm 32. Man, Attack on Titan been going for so long. My age did a reverse card on me, but but I just wanted just to sing the praises of the freaking opening song. Like I said, just like that heavy metal sound of it or whatever, and just like with the lyrics and the visuals, yo. but overall, freaking great episode, or great opening, whatever. The episode itself was solid as well, and I'm gonna leave it at that because, like I said, I don't have too much to really say about it. Like I said, just because it's like I already know how this is gonna go and how this is gonna end, but I just want to say y'all are in for a crazy ride. Um, they show some stuff, they tease some stuff in the opening that if you know what you were looking at, it's some spoilers. But if you don't know, you don't know, and I'll leave it at that. But yeah, glad to have Attack on Titan back. They, as you see Aaron down here screaming in the corner, they took over, and when Attack on Titan launched on Sunday, it crashed. Both Funimation and Crunchyroll were both down. But those of us, like, shout out to Moody Senpai on the timeline. Uh, we were all some of us were over here while y'all were dealing with the dumpster fire of Crunchyroll and Funimation bending under the stress of Attack on Titan. We over here on Hulu watching it. So Hulu came in clutch. Hey, a lot of people be forgetting about a lot of, especially like a lot of times if an anime is on Funimation, it is also on Hulu most of the time. So keep that in mind. Next week or next time, an anime you're excited about, the service like Funimation or Crunchyroll has crashed, go check out Hulu, man. Hey, Hulu. I ain't even gonna say it. I was gonna use an analogy, but I ain't gonna go there. I'm gonna keep it wholesome today. But yeah. So Attack on Titan is back, and speaking of shows that are back and strong, uh, Demon Slayer, man. Now this is another one. Demon Slayer. I've read the manga, which is weird to think about. The manga's been down for almost 2 years now, so I already know how this is gonna go. But the anime, the visuals, the way they put this together. And I think I agree with some people where I'm like, I think this episode might kind of kick it up a notch from the legendary, what was it, episode 19 from season 1. Man, cause the scenes of Tanjiro with the uh um Hinogami Kagura, the flaming attacks, and dodging all the ribbons and stuff, and then when Nezuko came in and was going in, bruh. That man, it looks so good. And I'm like, knowing what is coming, no spoilers, but knowing what is coming, if they gave this much, if they went all out like this on this episode, some of the stuff coming up, yeah, yeah, yeah. The rest of this freaking season might just like that legendary episode 19 or whatever from season 1. Hey, this about to, yeah, because like I said, this episode alone rivaled it. And yeah, and there's some more greatness coming. But yeah, but Demon Slayer, man, you foldable. They really went in with the visuals on this freaking episode. They did not hold back on the budget. they was like put all the budget into Nezuko stomping Daki or Tanjiro with his blood crazed eyes. Uh, but yeah, but like I said, Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer, I put them both kind of together to where it's like, I finished the manga for both, so I might not have like super in-depth analysis to talk about with every episode, just because I don't want to mess around and slip up and say something that maybe won't happen till later. But like I said, I will kind of give surface level general props to this stuff, whatever, because they've. But yeah, Demon Slayer was freaking chef's kiss, amazing. Now, real quick, something I want to kind of give a shout out to, and this I was intending on mentioning this when I was talking about the older stuff. Um, but I want to give just a quick shout out before I keep going, because this is another anime where it's season 2. It's going to be starting, or season 2 started Sunday. But now this is one. This is another one that shout out to the homies over at Mike Check Waifu podcast that they talked about on their show called this is an isekai called how a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom. Now season 1, 13 episodes. I watched it on Funimation. It could be on other places as well. Let me see. I don't know. Regardless, but anywho, so synopsis for this one is: suddenly summoned to a fantasy world and betrothed to the princess, Kazuya Soma is crowned the new king after providing the royal family with impressive advice. To rule the kingdom, he's taken the non-traditional and very human route of administrative reform. In a realm of dragons and elves, will this revolutionary's unique path prove effective? And so I've only watched maybe, I think I'm up to maybe like episode 6, maybe whatever. So I'm maybe like a little under or right about like halfway through the season. But I don't know. I've enjoyed. Like I said, it's nothing like super crazy, whatever. But I think it is just because of the fact that like, hey, this is a basically a normal dude, but it's just like the way he thinks. Because if I remember correctly, I think that in his previous life, I think he was a accountant or something. Or but basically, he has a certain type of mindset to where he's thinking about stuff that these people in this kingdom, this world, don't really think of. But yeah, like I said, I just want to just give a shout out to that and show it some love. 'Cause like I said, I've been enjoying it, and so I'm hopefully finish off, season 1, and then just roll right into season 2. 'Cause like I said, season 2 has already started for that. So going on to new stuff, you already know my son And no, not Vash. um, the community's son, the son of the people. Oh, let me stop. I'm being goofy. The son of the people. And I'm not even gonna switch off just because he looks so peaceful right here up in this image above my head. Ranking of Kings, and our boy Bojji, sweet Bojji, he is back, and he brought along with him a new opening and ending, and I still like the vibe and the bop of the first opening, and I still like kind of like the smooth feeling of the original ending, but once again, this is another one where they was like over at Studio Wit, they was like, yo, hey, put all the money into this. Put all the money into the animation for the freaking opening. Cause man, if you go back and you watch a video of the opening for the first part of the season, and then you look at the visuals for the second part that they just started, it is ridiculous. It is like top of the line visual fidelity, and just like the way the scenes are cut and stuff, whatever, and the music with it is freaking amazing. And same thing like with the ending or whatever. I need to listen to the ending a couple more times because I don't really have that really pictured in my mind and stuff too much. But yeah, but the opening ending, hey, you did it again, Studio Wit, and whoever is doing the music and stuff, and the visuals, y'all stepped it up a big notch. And really went all out with this one. But yeah, but so with the episode itself, what are we up to? This is what, episode 12, I believe. Yeah. All right, but yeah, so we kind of kick things back, like pretty much we dive right back into the deep end to where this group of uh bandits or whatever you want to call them uh take over the kingdom. And so, but we kind of like flash back a bit to where when they first kind of came into the castle and stuff with IPS and Moranjo, like a couple of the dudes attack Moranjo's like little like guard dudes with the size or whatever. Kind of find out, of course, they are puppets and stuff. And then one of the guys, the shorter one of the group, he tells them, he's like, hey, y'all need to chill, cause they entered in through that little like creepy area with all like the different monsters and beasts and stuff like frozen. And so he was like, hey, if we mess around and kill them, we might be trapped down here. And so yeah, so they end up chilling out or whatever, and then going in, taking over the throne, putting what's his name, not I know it's Daida's body, but King Boast, end up putting him in the dungeon or whatever. And so two of the people or whatever, one of them like the group of people that came in, two of them, um King Bo and Oaken, they end up getting into a fight. So when they put Boast in jail or whatever, King Bo turns around and sees Oaken sitting on the throne, and he just walks up to him and just smacks him into a pillar, you know, gets the crown, sits down. He's like, all right, I'm the king of this, whatever. And so Oaken walks up to him, whatever, at first, and then turns around and then walks away, kind of like acting like he's like shaking and stuff, whatever, like he was scared. And so everybody else pretty much leaves to go take care of something else, whatever. And so of course like they were laughing like, oh, Oaken's, you know, uh, scared, and talking about how, well, King Bo is probably the strongest one here, yada yada yada. Well, when everybody else left except for the shorter guy of the group, Oaken comes back up to King Bo, and they were about to start fighting. Then Oaken casts some type of like freeze spell that causes King Bo to just be stuck in place and can't move. And man, he just dismantles this dude. Like in the blink of an eye, he cuts the tendons in both of his wrists. So then he drops his sword and he can't pick up and hold nothing no more. Then he goes behind him, cuts the tendons in his heels. He falls down on his knees, and then he just does a barrage of stabs into the dude's back. King Bo falls down, collapses, and then Oaken just does the squat. He just squats there and just watches King Bo just suffer. This dude is cold. This dude is a freaking monster. Um, and so yeah, he just sits there and watches him until he thinks he died, and then pretty much just gets up and leaves. And so the little short dude comes, takes his body, and just dumps him out into off the side of the castle into the woods, where Bebin comes across his body and tells the snakes to bury him. And so the episode ends with the snake slithering over to come get the body, but then his like finger twitches. Now, something I want to bring up real quick with this that was brought to my attention by Panda on Twitter, because she watched the episode maybe like I think maybe like the next day after I watched it or whatever. She was talking about it, and she pointed out that King Bo looks just like the crazy king that Boji encountered in the forest, or in that kind of like underground spike pit, and they were doing like the weird like dance in the forest for whatever that little smoke monster thing that was absorbing souls and spitting out forest animals. That king looks just like King Bo's, looks just like King Bo in general, but then sure enough, like, cause like there was like a flashback to King Bo when he was younger and his father, and it's like, yo, when Panda said that, I was like, you was right. I think you were right. And then I went back and I watched a clip of the Crazy King dancing and him and Boji dancing, doing their thing. And plus, he seemed like he was super strong too. I was like, yep, that is him. So that is like, okay, all right. That's going to come full circle at some point or whatever. No, that connection, as well as the fact that King Bo isn't dead. Uh, but yeah, but man, this episode was just so freaking good. Uh, and of course, gotta have a little bit of humor mixed in there too. Seeing how Despa got recruited to come to the kingdom or whatever to help out. Of course, his brother sends money to bribe him to come help. But in the process, he's like, all right, hey, well, where's my horse? When I left the kingdom, I left my horse in y'all's care. So whereas what was the horse name? Like White Knight or something like that. What was that horse name? I want to say I think it's called White Knight or something of that nature. White King or something like that. But yeah, White King. So so yeah. But of course, without him around, his horse just kind of got out of control with the eating and has gotten super huge. So that's why Despa's gonna be late to the party. But anywho, but yeah, I'm just happy to have Ranking of Kings back. We didn't have it for like a week or so, but I'm glad it's back. Like I said, with a very strong new opening and ending, and yeah. So now to some really good new stuff. Uh, the first stuff is no, come back. It's called My Dress Up Darling. Whoops, wrong angle. Gotta fix that. Alright, so My Dress Up Darling. Now, this is basically a rom-com slice of life. It says ecchi a little bit in there. But so first of all, so me with this series, this is one that I had always seen the manga covers for anytime I was in the store, and the covers for the manga always like looked really pretty, and so I was like, okay, that looks pretty or whatever, but I never read a synopsis. I had no clue what it was about. I just knew, okay, these covers look gorgeous and always catches my eye. Well, now in the lead up to the anime or whatever, watch the trailers, read the synopsis or whatever. So basically, My Dress Up Darling follows high schooler Wakana Gojo, um, who only cares about one thing: making Hina dolls. Um, with nobody to share his obsession with, he has trouble finding friends or even holding conversation. But after the school's most popular girl, Marin Kitagawa, reveals a secret of her own, he discovers a new purpose for his sewing skills. Together, they'll make her cosplay dreams come true. So, yes, 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 yes. So, yeah. So one thing, and you know, I talked about a little bit about this in my little video I did the other day, but I'm gonna share it again. First of all, visually, this anime is freaking stunning. Um, Once again, this is something I wish that I could show video or whatever, but I don't want to. But if you see this little thumbnail to my over here, um, she looks beautiful, looks very pretty. So visually, it has it. Hey, it's got it down when it comes to the visuals. And one thing I'm already excited about with this series is just them exploring the theme and the dynamics of embracing who you are, embracing the things you love, regardless of, of what society thinks or tells you you should be doing because, you're of this age or you're this gender, whatever the case may be, or whatever. If you have a hobby or something or a passion that you love doing, just do it. And that is something that sticks to Gojo's mind when one of the first couple times him and Marin encountered each other, he overhears a conversation with her and her classmates or her and her friends talking about how, I guess she was getting ready to go on a date with this like really, really popular, just really well known guy. And it got brought up that she likes anime and stuff. And so he started making fun of her, be like, oh, you like that nerdy stuff, whatever. And so she just told him off. She was like, well, hey, yes, I love it. And if you don't like it, then hey, goodbye, boy, bye. Basically, she gave him the classic boy bye. And so yeah, so she told Gojo basically because they ran into each other again because Gojo was basically doing other kids' like after school chores, and she came in because she was also on duty, whatever. And so basically, she more or less told him like, hey, you're letting these people take advantage of you or whatever. You have to stand up for yourself. And so between hearing that story, the other story, and then her saying those words, it really stuck in his mind overnight. Well, when he was making his an outfit for one of the dolls, sewing machine at home broke, so he has to move, or he has to, uh, or he decides to use the one at school because he's like, hey, nobody uses this room after school because there's no active club in here, so I should be safe. I'm alone, just me, my sewing, and my Hina doll. And he's in there talking to the doll and stuff, whatever, as he's making the outfits. And Marin walks in. He freaks out because he's like, crap, somebody saw me. Somebody saw me. I'm dead. My life is over. But she actually just like gushed and she was like, yo, you do this, you know how to sew, you know how to make these outfits and all this stuff, whatever. And she's like, perfect, you are somebody that I need. And he's like, what? And so basically she tells him, like, or she changes real quick, whatever, and she puts on like her cosplay costume in the making, where she's trying to dress up as her favorite character. And so of course he's going in like man, the stitching is wrong on this, you didn't use the right material, yada da da da. But basically they end up coming to a understanding of like, hey, you have a passion for wanting to sew and do this stuff, whatever. You have a passion that can use my talents, and so they agree to, he's going to make her cosplay outfits. And so, like I said, it's, seemed very sweet, very wholesome. Uh, and yeah, I'm just very excited about this show. Like I said, I just very excited for this. This is definitely one I could see, like, once the anime is done, me possibly hopping over and picking up some of the manga. But yeah, so like I said, this is 12 episodes. This will be airing every Saturday, which is perfect because, my other comfort Saturday anime, Blue Period, ended um, on New Year's Eve, New Year's Day actually. And so it's nice to have like a really nice slice of life anime like this again to um, to look forward to every week. So, but yeah, 12 episodes. I'm watching it on Funimation. So, next up, and this one is kind of coming in like super last minute, just because when I was eating my dinner a while ago, I was like, let me just put on something to watch while I am eating. And so I open up Crunchyroll and I see something called um, Sabikui Bisco, or also known as Rust Eater Bisco. Now, the let me see if I can find the synopsis for this one. Rust Eater. Okay, so the synopsis for this one is Japan's post-apocalyptic wasteland, replete, um, replete with dust, can only be saved by one thing: fungus. Bisco Akaboshi, a wanted criminal and skilled archer, searches for a legendary mushroom known as sabikui, said to devour any and all rust. Joining him on this epic saga to save the country is a giant crab, that part I didn't know about, and a young doctor. Can this unlikely trio find the fabled fungi and save the land? Now, the first episode, at least, it did enough to at least like get my interest, to pique my interest and be like, okay, I'm gonna check this out. I'm gonna continue to check this out. Cause honestly, I had never even heard of this series or nothing. Ooh, Lord, y'all excuse me. I had never even heard, seen it, nothing of the series or whatever before this. But apparently the light novel's been going for a while. Um, the first part of the manga finished and it's on to a second part of it. Um, but yeah, so like I said, or like the synopsis said, it kind of just follows this character on this quest to basically deal with this rust stuff, because basically, so a lot of the most of society lives within basically walled off areas or whatever, and then there's just like these great stretches of like desert in between. But if you spend too much time out in the desert area or whatever, you get this rust disease or whatever that starts like ravaging your body. And so one thing, like the premise and the general setup, like I said, is like a little bit of mystery. Like, okay, like what is really going on here? Uh, but I definitely want to learn more and see more of this world and of these characters. And I'll definitely say like visually, this thing was a looker. Uh, cause let me see if I can find. Man, hold on, let me see if I can show this real quick. but it's like this like there are like certain parts of this to where it's like, man, like this is like visually looks like really good, and stuff. So like visually they got the visual part right, but but yeah, so I am super curious and interested, like I said, to continue with the show, to see where it's going. Honestly, and of course, I am in no way, shape, or form saying this will touch this series in any way, but one thing that caught my attention that at least piqued my interest and gave me a small hint, very, but a small hint of Trigun vibes, because the first episode is titled "The Man Worth 800,000." Of course, you know, like Vash the Stampede, the man worth 60 billion double dollars. Well, I see something like that. I see this kind of like wasteland area, and I see this character who is more or less being seems to be wrong seems to be being wrongly accused of doing crimes, where it's like, no, he's actually trying to help y'all and stuff. It definitely gives me Trigun vibes. Like I said, as far as like how Vash was misunderstood, and like, no, he's not the one that caused all this stuff, and he's not the one. He's not a bad guy. You know, it's just like trouble follows him around or whatever. But he's actually the one trying to help y'all. And so, like I said, like that part of it, I was like, uh, got a little hint of Trigons sprinkled in there somewhere, maybe. So like I said, it's enough to get my attention. And then I'm curious about like this doctor guy who has a little air of mystery around him. Him and his sister, who is like this like office commander person, who he is trying to find a cure for, because she is like, her body was like super covered with the rust disease or whatever. And so yeah, and I'm also very curious about whatever this giant crab thing is I just read about in the synopsis. But yeah, so we shall see how that kind of plays out. But that's pretty much it as far as like with the anime. Oh, and that one, the Sabikui or Rust Eater Bisco, I watched that on Crunchyroll, but I think it might also be on Funimation. Uh, but let's go ahead and just dive right into real quick some very quick uh, manga shout outs. So, uh, uh, I'll, should I cover my gifts? No, I'll save my gifts for after this, whatever, because this is gonna be a pretty quick little thing, whatever, with the manga stuff. So first of all, start with Kaiju number 8. Let me see what chapter. Kaiju number 8, chapter 54. So first of all, I want to start off with like a little bit of news that Kaiju number 8 is gonna be on break for a month, because from my understanding, what I read, because first of all, we just finished a big arc in Kaiju number 8, and so, but apparently the author is taking some time to try to figure out, basically like and get together stuff for the next part of the story. Because I was hearing or seeing something about people were complaining about the last arc or how story stuff. I'm like, what? Y'all are complaining about this, but like I said, I need to dive into like do a little bit more research on that part or whatever. So I'm not 100% for sure, but I do know for sure he is on break for a month. He'll return February 4th, I believe, or whatever the first. Yeah, February 4th, which would be in Japan, but over here it'll be the 3rd. So Kaiju number 8 will be back in a month. But yeah, but pretty much this chapter in a nutshell was pretty much just kind of like a wind down, kind of like everybody kind of grieving and dealing with the aftermath of this fight, versus Kaiju number 9, and the fallout from that, and just kind of like Kafka, and I believe the girl's name is Kiroku, uh, showing just like their resolve to, okay, I have to get stronger, have to do better, all that stuff. And we also kind of get a look at like some of the commanders for some of the other divisions that we had never seen before. Because I don't think we never seen the commanders for the second and the fourth before. Uh, so yeah, but yeah, so Kaiju number 8 is gonna be on break for a bit. But like I said, this was a really good uh send off for this arc. Though of course, Kafka has something going on. There was some like spike thing or something sticking out of the back of his hand, but he just puts a glove on to cover it up, and it's like that is some hey, I got bitten by a zombie, but I don't want to alarm everybody, so I'm just gonna keep the bite covered up type of stuff. So I don't know what's going on with Kafka, but I'm eagerly anticipating the return of Kaiju number 8 next month. So next up, let's see, a little bit of just wholesomeness. I caught up on Spy Family. So Spy Family, basically chapter 58, parts 1 and 2. So these chapters basically covered uh like a little mini story mission thing, whatever, with just Lloyd and the dog Bond. And so basically, Lloyd is trying to do what he's calling training him to attack and be aggressive and take down people, all that stuff, whatever. Well, Bond starts having visions of bad stuff going on. But unlike how when Anya's with him and she praises him when he does stuff, whatever, because she can actually, read his mind and kind of that's how they can kind of be on the same page and talk. He can't do that with Lloyd, so he sees, oh, so the kid about to drop an ice cream cone. I'm gonna try to stop them from falling or whatever. But he ends up just scaring the kid. The kid still drops the ice cream, but Lloyd buys him another one, triple scoop instead of double scoop now. Uh, and just all sorts of other stuff, whatever. Where a guy was about to get hit by a bike or something, whatever. He like grabs the guy's shirt and like pulls him, whatever. But then the biggest one that I really loved was Bond had a vision of there was a fire that happened, and then that someone or something was still trapped in the apartment building that was on fire. Well, he went rushing. They got to the location, and so of course, as some of the stuff is going on, Lloyd starts to pick up like, hold on, are you sensing danger or something or whatever? And so that's when he kind of starts to realize like, oh, okay, you've been maybe trying to help, whatever. And so, but anywho, so So they get there, whatever. The fire's going on, and so Bond goes rushing into the building. Lloyd goes in after him, and so kind of find out it's a little puppy that was trapped inside because the owner was like, oh, my Daisy, or whatever the dog's name was, and so, but anywho, Lloyd and Bond work together, and they end up getting out of the building and stuff, and so it was just kind of just cute, just seeing those two kind of just come together, and like I said, just kind of just form their own little bond. But yeah, it was just really sweet, just really wholesome, just seeing those two together. So yeah, and so lastly, um, just because honestly, I know, we got One Piece and My Hero and all that stuff, whatever, um, last week because we're on break. The mangas was on break this week, whatever. But I honestly don't have much I would really want to add or say to add to those conversations. But so I'll save them for next week when they come back. So the last manga chapter I want to talk about today is Doctor Stone manga chapter 224. And the main thing I really just want to talk about with this is just the fact that, as the title says, in space, they have successfully made it to space, and such a sweet thing that Zeno did was he programmed Senku's watch that releases the revolver fluid. He programmed Senku's to go off a little bit earlier than Kohaku and Stanley, so that Senku could have some time alone to just soak it all in and just like really just like take in the moment to himself and just peace and quiet. Like, man, since he was a kid, he dreamed of going to outer space someday, and to finally be in outer space now. After the years that have passed, like the literal years that have passed between, you know, the initial petrification where they were in stone for thousands of years to, just the years that passed as they were like learning and building and growing and stuff, whatever, to this other big petrification where they were in stone for like another 5 years or whatever. And so just like all these trials and tribulations that they went through, and they finally made it. And so just very beautiful. Some of these panels, just Senku up in space alone, just seeing the Earth and the Moon and everything. But yeah, overall, just like I said, just very beautiful. And of course, seeing Kohaku's reaction when she wakes up, whatever, and going to space and stuff herself. And so now the ship is starting to reform and stuff, and they are getting ready to enter into the next phase. So, but yeah, but that's gonna do it for the main manga stuff. So just really quickly, and like I said, this is just kind of me just kind of showing off some stuff I got for my birthday. Uh, so some of this was self treat, some of this was stuff that my wife and kids got me, and some of it is some that my uh, my buddy, my bro got me. So I'll start off with my bro, Mr. Gooch. He got me, what is this? Volume 4 of Ikigami: The Ultimate Limit. Now this is a series that I have been wanting to get in my collection, and it is one of my goals for this year to collect the full series and to read it. Because shout out to both Gemini Manga and Yoruba Headed Senpai for putting this on my radar and stuff. And so I am very, very, very excited to finally get a chance to try this series out. And just I guess just for like a quick little synopsis for those of y'all that might not know. Um, so basically, a national law, a national posterity law, has been passed in a dystopian nation, resulting in citizens between the ages of 18 to 24 being randomly selected to die for the good of the nation. These citizens are given a 24-hour notification of their impending death. These notifications are known as ikigami, the ostensible reason for this system being to help demonstrate the value of life. And so, yeah, and there's also a live action movie of this that came out back in 2008, which I might check out at some point after I read this. But yeah, so thank you to my homie for getting me that and getting my collection started. This manga is kind of, some of the volumes of it is kind of hard to come across. So yeah, so but I am on my way to collecting them. So next up, this is something I got myself because this is a series. So Witch Hat, I still don't know if it's pronounced Atelier or Atelier. Witch Hat Atelier, we'll just say. So I got volumes 3, 4, and 5. And a lot of y'all would be seeing this again in my manga haul. But so this is a series that is also on my list, or that was on my list to pick up, at some point this year, it wasn't like a super high priority, but it was definitely one of those like bullet pointed ones like, hey, if I get the time or whatever, I want to get these and start reading them. Well, I was out at a movie trading company and they had these, and these are used, but they still look brand new. There's no, there's maybe like a tiny smudge or scratch on it, but for the most part, these things look brand new, and they were on sale for basically $5 a piece. Now these normally run $13 a piece, so I pretty much got 3 volumes for practically the price of one. And so I was like, screw it, 3, 4, and 5 it is. I'll take it. So, and so yeah, and I'll get my hands on 1 and 2 soon, and I'll have this to look forward to start because, but yeah, because this is a series that another one that some friends of mine online have talked about, and I always see the manga covers, or I always see the manga anytime I go um, out and about on a manga hunt or shopping, or whatever. And they, as you those y'all that saw it, they look very pretty, and the material just like the quality of the manga just looks and feels really nice. So the synopsis for that one is Coco is a kind and daydreaming daughter of a dressmaker who aspires to become a witch. However, because only innate magical users can practice and use magic, she has to give up on her dream. One day she meets a wizard named Quinfrey, and after she witnesses how he uses magic, uh, Coco accidentally casts a spell that turns her mother to stone. That part I did not know. And maybe I'll stop reading the synopsis because I did not know that part. I just spoiled myself. Oh, man. Anywho, okay, let's close that tab. Robert would not be reading anymore because I did not know that. It's okay, Robert. It's okay. but anywho, I'm excited to try that out. Even more excited now that I kind of teeny bit spoiled myself. But the last two things that I got are 2 series that I started my physical manga collection with last year. Vinland Saga and 20th Century Boys. Now, I got 20th Century Boys Perfect Edition 8, which means I only have 3 volumes left to pick up, and I need to, when I get some extra money, hopefully soon, because Amazon has been having these on sale for like $5-6 off, so they've been like $15 a piece. So I'm going to try to get those last 3 finished up just to get in my collection. And then the last volume I needed for Vinland Saga, book 12. So I now have, well, let me rephrase that. I have everything past where the anime was. So I now have books 5 through 12 of Vinland Saga in my collection. And it is beautiful. And I love it because, of course, not only just the fact that it's Vinland Saga, but the fact that it is blue, my favorite color. So, and this cover is just so freaking gorgeous. Um, but yeah, so I'll be getting back on those very soon. But yeah, so thank you to everybody. Like I said, my wife and kids, my best friend, my bro, um, and myself for finding like those Witch Hat Atelier series. But yeah, so that's gonna do it for this episode. I hope that y'all liked and enjoyed the episode. But yeah, I hope y'all liked and enjoyed the episode. And yeah, I hope that I put y'all onto some new anime that maybe y'all hadn't known or heard about to check out. Like I said, everything from like I said, like the older stuff that I watched over the holiday break to the new stuff for the season, both the ongoing series and some newer stuff that came up, whatever. I hope you found something awesome, maybe even within the manga stuff I just showed, to kick off your new year. So like I said, I am very excited for this journey ahead of us. Like I said, I just had my birthday. I'm Still accepting Cash App and Amazon wish list. teasing. But but real talk though, all jokes aside, I really appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all that sent me some love. Those of y'all that actually sent me some stuff, whatever. I am forever grateful, forever humble, at the love and care that y'all show me. And yeah, like I said, just be on the lookout, like I said, for stuff hitting both the podcast feed and the YouTube feed, for the awesome guests I have coming up that are going to be on the show across this next year. Be on the lookout for me being on other people's shows, because I for sure have like 3 shows, things that I'm going to be on somebody else's stuff for this month. So I already have lots of stuff in the works to where, like I said, I'm going to have guests on my show, I'm going to be guests on other people's stuff. And yeah, and we're going to get all this stuff rocking and rolling. And so as always, first off, I want to give a shout out to Rifty Beats for the music. Got to make sure I stay on top of that. Sorry, man. but yeah, shout out to him for the music. And make sure, if you're not already, like I said, follow me on Twitter at Danny's Talk, Instagram Danny's Talk Podcast, TikTok Danny's Talk Podcast, which is so weird me saying that. I don't even know if my kids know I have a TikTok yet. That would be very weird if they discover me on there, like they discover my YouTube channel. But yeah, it's all fun times ahead. Like I said, make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. I sound like a broken record, but I would greatly appreciate that. And yeah, here is to a fun and exciting 2022. Because like I said, if this is just like a glimpse at some of the amazing shows and manga and stuff that are coming up for this year, it is going to be an amazing year. Because My Dress Up Darling and that Sabuki Bisco, the Man-Eater Rust, I knew nothing about. Well, I knew hardly. I for sure knew nothing about Bisco. That's completely off my radar. But My Dress Up Darling, big surprise. And there's some other stuff I watched, whatever. I'll maybe talk about that next week, whatever. Because I forgot to mention, I also watched that Akibi Sailor Uniform, whatever. But anyway, enough talking. We need to get this thing wrapped up because it is almost 1 a.m. But it's always worth it to spend time with y'all. Thank you so much for listening and coming through and making me part of your day, your week, part of your life. And so as always, make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you treat yourself to something nice. Buy that manga you want. Watch that anime or TV show. Play that video game and just live your life. And I will catch you all in the next one. Have an awesome day and week. I love y'all so much. Peace.